This is the night one hometown band hit the big stage and opened for one of the most successful rock bands in history.
I can't believe we're opening up for Bon Jovi. You see everyone put your hands together. Let's keep this place rocking tonight.
The Zack King Band, based out of Grapevine, Texas, received the opportunity of a lifetime to play in front of 20,000 rock and roll fans. In late 2002, the Zack King Band formed and quickly began playing typical local gigs. But as their popularity grew across Texas, this original rock band began to open for national artists as they came through town. But it was in 2010 that they received a call from their good friend Rob Williams that Bon Jovi was holding a contest for his upcoming concert to have a local band open for the show. The only problem was that the submissions closed that night.
So I called Kevin, who I knew he was running our YouTube site at the time. I called Kevin and said, hey, do we have a live video you can put up on the site, right?
That was 3 of them. Well, I had 3 videos to choose from.
Right.
And so I just picked one and then filled out a form. And I didn't even think twice about it. I just did it,
Right.
whatever, and then just kind of forgot about
Yeah.
it.
Out of the hundreds of submissions, the band was selected to be one of 10 artists in the final voting round. Only 2 bands would be chosen to play with Bon Jovi.
We realized we needed to engage our army and get all of our friends and family and band fans involved in the voting process, which only went on for a few days.
After getting everyone they knew to vote all weekend long, the results were announced on the radio Monday morning.
They announced the other band first, and they're like, I didn't know if that was, I thought, okay, one band off the list, but it's not us, so there's only one more shot. And they announced that the Zack King Band was going to be opening the Sunday night show. And I remember I just about lost it.
So far, all of the band's efforts had gone towards getting the gig. But once that was secured, they needed to start thinking about how they were going to pull off their biggest show ever in front of 20,000 people.
I was already in panic mode because we had 7 days. It was Monday and we were playing Sunday night, and all I could think was, we've got to prepare for the biggest show of our lives.
The band immediately started sorting out the logistics of the show, including figuring out the set list, deciding who will run their sound, which background musicians they will bring, and who will be their backstage crew members.
We also had to find a space conducive, simulate an environment because we had this massive stage. Right? You have this giant stage, and you don't know, it's Kev, the way we set up, is he going to be 20 feet this way, or are you going to be so far back? We had to think, okay, gear and cables and simulating that. And getting our cues and all that, so we had to find a space. So we settled on the elementary cafeteria
right.
with
Elementary
unlimited chocolate milk and
Tater tots.
pretzels. Yeah, that's right.
One important preparation that most concert lovers don't realize when attending a show is that many parts of the performance are scripted beforehand to help with the onstage presence.
We were concerned about how the crowd would react, to anything we said. And I remember we determined that the one thing we didn't want to say, we didn't want Zach to go up there and say, hey Dallas, how y'all doing? Because that's just too cliche, right? Don't go up and say, hey Dallas, how y'all doing?
What you gonna get?
And what were the first words out of his mouth when you hit the stage?
Dallas, Texas, how y'all doing out there?
The band decided to bring along Mike Camerata as a secondary percussionist for the show. Not only is he a great musician, he, along with longtime band tech Jim Ormsby, provided some much-needed comedic relief before the show.
I remember in the green room when we were backstage, we were going over the script, we were going over the set list, or tuning instruments, making sure everything was right. It was kind of tense, a little bit of it was just getting ready for our big show, and I was happy that Jim was there and that Mike Camerata was there. Jim Ormsby was just there telling jokes and keeping us loose, and Mike Camerata doing his Robert De Niro impersonation.
Mike Camerata just doing Mike Camerata.
Comic relief can do
After countless hours preparing for the show that week, the band was finally moments away from being on stage.
Well, we get to the edge of the ramp, and the stage manager's there. He's got the whole gear on, and he looks at us and he says, "All right, are you guys ready to go?" And we're like, "Yeah, he's jumping, he's getting loose." And we're like, "Yeah, we're ready." And he looks at us, he says, "Are you sure?"
I don't know, man.
Yeah, about 4 seconds ago.
And I
was sure.
remember that specifically because no one has ever said that to me before. And asked twice. I'm like, "There's something
Do I
I'm
look
missing."
okay?
I'm right.
It was finally time for the Zack King Band to get up on stage and do what they do best.
Started running up the ramp, and I remember about halfway up the ramp, I could look out and see the crowd, and a wave of calm came over me. And it was that moment that I said, this is where we're supposed to be.
These men have dreamt of playing the big stage since they were kids. They worked hard, put together a good band with good music, but obviously it's more than that. There's always another factor. Jon Bon Jovi is a huge star with a legendary rock band, but even at that level, he and his band are still out there giving upstarts an opportunity to shine, a chance they might not otherwise have. And for the Zack King Band, that chance may never have come if it wasn't for their families, friends, and fans. These supporters are the reason they got a chance to be on that stage. They voted over and over again, and the band never would have made it without them.
Remember playing ball in the springtime when that little lady called out your name. You gotta believe